What Anthony Fluffy Hernandez just did to Hernandez was ridiculous. Submitting him, rear naked choke, taking him to the middle of the ring, and having him tap out at the same time. You guys, there's no denying Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. We're just coming off UFC Fight Night. Fluffy versus Hernandez. And my goodness, man, this whole goddamn card, top to bottom, was a card to remember. We got an absolutely exciting fight in the main event, which we all expected, but we did not expect Fluffy Hernandez to destroy, to absolutely ragdoll Hernandez the way he did. I mean, Hernandez was on a 3-fight winning streak, having beat guys like Anthony Smith, Kevin Holland, Marvin Vettori. His last fight was against Imavov, his last goddamn loss. So guys, for Anthony Hernandez to go in here and destroy Hernandez worse than anybody has ever destroyed him, I mean, bro, he deserves a goddamn title shot, man. The UFC needs to get this man up there. He's like the Cain Velasquez of the goddamn middleweight division. He don't look like he's the strongest person. Hernandez had all the size in the world. I thought that was going to come into effect in here, my friends, but it didn't. Fluffy Hernandez took him down easier than I've seen anybody take down Hernandez. And my people, I'm telling you guys right now, with Imavov as your #1 ranked contender for the title shot, I would love to see Imavov versus Fluffy Hernandez. You seen what Imavov was able to do to Hernandez, basically almost knocking him out in round 1. It went to decision, but still, all the pressure, all the goddamn relentlessness that he was putting on Hernandez, I would love to see Anthony Hernandez versus Imavov. And if you don't want to give us that fight, if you don't want to give us Imavov versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, then give us Cal Baralio. I mean, could you imagine UFC fans around the world? We would absolutely love to see Cal Baralio, who's in the UFC undefeated, still hasn't lost in the UFC, go up against a guy who's higher than him up in the rankings, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, and actually get tested, my people. That would be an amazing matchup. All in all, the sky's the limit for Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. What a goddamn fight card we had. You know, you had Euros Merches going in there against Gerber Urbina, getting the first round KO. You had Jocelyn Edwards getting the first round KO over Priscilla Cochillera. You had Christian Leroy Duncan going in there and getting a spinning back elbow KO against your boy Eric Anders, sending him to the cage where he finished him off with a right hand, boom, and deadly uppercuts. Man, it looked like Eric Anders was out. And I'm telling you guys right now, man, Eric Anders, I don't know if we're going to be seeing him in the UFC for that much longer, but what a goddamn fight from Christian Leroy Duncan. Then the co-main event, what about Steve Erceg versus Ode Osbourne? I had it 1-1. Going into the 3rd round, dude. What a performance Ode Osbourne gave us. You know, he's coming off a 3-fight losing streak. And to not even be ranked in the division and go up against a guy like Steve Erceg, who I know he was ranked number 10 in the world, but this man had just competed against some of the best fighters in the world, giving Alexander Pantoja one of his toughest fights. Ode Osbourne goes in the 1st round and is check hook and countering Steve Erceg, dropping him, winning the round, looking absolutely amazing. We're like, damn, the speed of Ode Osbourne is looking like it's just too fast. But Steve Erceg starts to come back in the 2nd round, you know, getting some takedowns, landing some good leg kicks, landing some punches, proving to just be a little bit too much. It seemed like Ode Osbourne started to slow down. We go into the 3rd round. Same exact thing, you know, to start off the round, it looked like Ode Osbourne was being a little cautious. He wasn't coming out the same way he was coming out in round 1, and I think that ended up playing detriment to his game plan. Steve Erceg was able to get it done, ended up winning the decision 29-28 across the board, and is back in the winning column, my friend. Steve Erceg definitely needed that. All in all, even the Julius Walker versus Cesaro fight was absolutely amazing. Julius Walker, man, getting dropped, coming back in the 3rd round. Man, fantastic, fantastic night. But the last fight that I want to talk about, which was a fight to remember, was Elijah Smith getting the 1st round slam KO against Toshiyama Kazama. You had Kazama coming in here, getting hit with a flying knee in the first 10 seconds by Elijah Smith, but being able to take Elijah Smith down. And as he takes him down, Elijah Smith scrambles and ends up on top, my friends, where he starts to land ground and pound. But Kazama starts to get these ankle locks, stays on his back, my friends, and later on in the round, with a minute to go, ends up locking a triangle on Elijah Smith as Elijah is in mount position. Elijah Smith decides to do what Rampage Jackson did back in 2004, my friends, and he picks up Kazama like this, literally. He picks him up and slams him. Boom! Back of the head to the canvas. I mean, if you guys haven't seen the goddamn KO that Elijah Smith gave to Kazama, please go watch it. It was probably one of the greatest KOs that I've ever seen live in history on any highlight in my life. Dude, I got goosebumps. I literally got goosebumps. Instantly, as that KO happened, man, I literally called my cousin, was like, bro, did you see that? My goodness, man. In a UFC fight night where people did not expect to see the best fights, you guys, we ended up getting one of the best UFC cards of the year. Elijah Smith, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, man. It's Saturday night. It's time to party, my friends. What a good UFC fight night we had. I hope everybody had a goddamn good night.